all you can be with a catalyst. My name is Lanre Olusola, and we've got Chris Drazer here. Chris, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
We've got an incredible guest in the house today. I'm going to hold out a bit. I'm just going to say a few things about this gentleman. His name is Marek. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce his surname.
I thought his last name was Chinedu.
His Igbo friends call him Chinedu.
Okay.
And his Yoruba friends call him Ola. And he's the CEO of Jovago.com.
And I'm sure if we posted this picture right now, people will be wondering, like, are you sure that's the person we're talking about, Chinedu Ola?
Jovago.com is Africa's #1 online booking platform. I'm particularly excited about this episode because, it opens up our eyes and our understanding of the opportunities that exist in this country. So, Marek, what do you want me to call you, Ola or Chinedu?
Whatever works for you, my man. Thanks for having me.
Marek is Polish and he's here in Nigeria doing business. Marek, just tell us. Just give us a background about you. Why Nigeria? What were you doing in Poland? Just talk to us a bit about yourself.
Mm-hmm. I have a background in finance and in banking sector and insurance sector. That's what I've been doing since I was 19. I did that for 2 years, and then after that, there was the time in Poland and in Europe when everyone was talking about online startups. That was the time when Facebook really started growing, when LinkedIn started growing, and all the big online businesses you can read about from States or from Europe were growing. So everyone wanted in Poland, as a young guy, to make some money and build some online businesses there. So that's what I started doing as well, and I did it for the last 6 years. I was able to build a couple of online companies, and I was able also to sell them. And that was around 2 years ago when I actually wanted to move, because after spending my whole life in Poland, I felt like I'm missing something, because the world gives you so many opportunities. And that was when Africa came to my mind, because I spoke to some people that were running businesses here, like for example, guys that run Jumia. And at that time, all I knew about Nigeria was, I'm sorry, but that's what the internet tells you. It's 419 and Boko Haram.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but that's how it works. Nigeria doesn't have the best PR in the world. But once you dive into the details and you get to know, you learn about the potential, about the economy that now Nigeria represents, it's actually mind-blowing, right? We are now in one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, and online business is one of the fastest growing sectors in Nigeria. So for a young guy like me with some online businesses background, that was the place to be right now, because in Europe everything is boring already, and here everything is crazy but so much fun and so much rewarding at the same time.
Wow. So let me take you back. You started working at 19.
Yeah.
And you set up your own business. You ran it for 6 years, and I heard you say that you sold it.
Yeah.
Wow. Why did you sell the business?
Well, in the meantime, I also went bankrupt twice with my first businesses. But the last 2 years, I was lucky enough to find someone that was willing to buy the company and take it to another level. When you launch your first company, you treat it as your child. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes, because first of all, you never want to leave it. You never want to let anyone else run it, even if sometimes you're not the best person to run that company. You don't want to leave it. And even if there are some problems with your company, you love that company and you don't want to see that problems. So that's sometimes a dead end.
Wow, so what you're saying in effect is, there are learning points from failing. As you start up a new business, there are certain critical things that you must be aware of. Can you just tell us what those things are? So that we've got a lot of youth out there that are listening, they're thinking about setting their own businesses. One thing I love about Chinedu is that Chinedu says that he's even gone bankrupt before, which means that, it is true now that the gateway to success is failure. So Chinedu, what are those things that everyone that wants to start up a business practically needs to look out for, so that they don't end up, where you first ended up, bankruptcy?
Just a disclaimer, I'm going to speak from my own experience. That doesn't mean this is like a universal recipe for everyone.
Yeah.
Probably there are many ways to achieve success. People that achieve success have many ways that they will be able to do it. But probably people who have failed, they all share one thing in common. they haven't tried enough times, because the last time they tried, they failed, and they haven't tried again. So that's so obvious. So you have to try more times than you failed. Second of all, I've met too many people that were talking about finally starting something, launching something, and talking was all they did. And I have found too many people that were trying to make things perfect instead of getting things done. When you start a company, the most important thing is to get things done, even if they're not perfect in the first place. So that what's really helped me. Like sometimes I felt like when I look at my past that I did so many stupid things, but then again I did them, and I made a mistake, and I was able to learn from it. And that's definitely better than not doing anything at all.
Wow. So, on social media, in the last 1 month, we've been talking about action. And one thing I borrow from what you're saying is a lot of people talk, but they don't act. And this is very, very critical. How do you want to succeed if you do not take action? Now, in the line of business, having worked in Europe, and in our conversation, you said that initially you wanted to move to America, but you looked at the African market. We'll come back to that. Choosing Africa and Nigeria in your future, in your potential, rather than choosing America. In looking at taking action, what are the critical action steps that make businesses succeed?
I think you have to chunk your goals into small steps, because the problem that blocks everyone from taking action is just thinking about too long-term goals that actually block you, and they make you feel scared because the goal seems too big. Our mind is structured in such a way, that's what I believe in, that we focus better on small steps. So when you're able to divide your long-term goal into small steps, and you know what to do first, and then you know what to do after you did the second step. This may sound so obvious, but this actually works, because you only focus on the first step.
Chinedu, you're talking like a coach, man.
Don't worry, I'm not going to take your position.
And those are the principles that we teach. You need your end goal, you need your journey goals, you need, the goals that you need to be able to measure now. But take that first step, take the second step, let them be measurable, and do the needful. Before the break, we talked about you had a choice to go to America when you were about to leave Poland, but you chose Africa and Nigeria. Why?
So first of all, why I was thinking about the United States. This is one of the examples how you can be deceived as a young guy, as a child, when you get raised. It was the influence of the Western culture and everything. You are raised, watching MTV video clips. You are raised watching Hollywood movies. You are raised in the whole concept of American dream. And then again, all the online startups that are successful from my sector, all you read about them is that they are from States. So this is an obvious reason for you. So you go where everyone goes, just like sheep. And I never like to think about myself as being a sheep, just like everyone else, because I don't think you can be successful just by being like everything else, everyone else. Exactly. So luckily, I met these guys at Ranjumia here, and they were the one that made me interested. So, and they told me about what's going on in Nigeria right now. They told me how big the country is, and actually the number of people that are using internet on a daily basis right now in Nigeria, it's bigger than the whole population of Poland.
Sorry?
Than the whole population of Poland, right? Poland is like 38 million people, and looking at the last numbers of Nigeria, more than 40 million people already are checking internet on a daily basis in Nigeria.
Wow.
So for me, it was like, okay, I have some experience. Maybe let's try to, take it to another ground, to a different level. Later, I discovered that everything I knew about running online businesses in Europe, I have to forget about it, everything.
No, that's a very important point, because I find that people go abroad, they copy businesses and business ideas. They want to come and replicate it the same way here. What I've heard you say is, you did this online business in Poland for over 6 years. When you came to Nigeria, you started doing it completely differently. Why?
Oh yeah, that's the recipe for failure. You just want to copy everything. It's quite tempting. If you go from another country, you know what's in the country you've come to, and you see that this is not here, and you just want to do it. You think it's so simple. Well, first of all, the most deceiving thing about online businesses in Nigeria is that you may call them an online business, but they're not really online businesses. The amount of logistics when you, for example, run an e-commerce, or the amount of offline marketing or any other offline operations you have to launch, you have to manage, you have to coordinate in order to to run your online business, it's like mind-blowing. I have to learn how to run an offline business. Successful in online business in Nigeria is not about finding the customers which are already online. Being successful in online business in Nigeria is about communicating the benefits of purchasing stuff online, of buying stuff online, of doing whatever online to the people that are not doing it yet. Creating the market for yourself. That's the long-term goal. That's what I believe in.
Wow. So, what is this sector? How big is this sector? What is the potential in this sector? Because we've got millions of listeners out there, and a lot of them are saying there are no jobs. You know, a lot of them want to go into banking. They want to go into, the normal professions. How big is technology? How big is this online thing? I mean, you said that, the amount of people that transact, interact, engage online in Nigeria is over 40 million, much more than the population of Poland. So how big is this industry?
A lot of people are checking the internet on a daily basis, mostly using their smartphones, sometimes laptops, sometimes tablets. And it's already bigger than an average market, online market, than an average European country. But you shouldn't focus on how big it is right now. You should focus on how big it can be in the future.
Wow.
I think your listeners are not the ones that are complaining that there are no jobs. I think your listeners are because I've seen your show on YouTube and I've listened to your show before. I think your listeners are the ones that want to create jobs for themselves and for other people. So you have to focus on where we can go once we solve all the infrastructure issues, that everyone, doesn't matter if he lives in Lagos or Jos or in Kano, will have access to the internet and to the uninterrupted power. If the middle class will grow in Nigeria, if more people will have the opportunity and the possibility to buy stuff online. So the market can be a market of 120, 100 million internet users in a couple of years from now. And this is like a multi-billion dollar business. And think about one more thing. Because of the technology revolution, we have totally new ways of making money, of building businesses. Imagine how Nigeria would look like, how the world would look like, if we didn't have any technology progress for the last 40 years. You would have the same models of TVs, the same models of cars, the same technology. Would you ever imagine being a young guy, 23-year-old guy, smart guy, ambitious guy, having to build a business in the oil sector? This is like almost impossible. Technology gives you, once you're smart and you're perceptive of what's going on in the market, lets you spot new opportunities. And technology lets you grow very fast. And when you deal with competition, what internet gives you, internet makes just having money not the biggest advantage of it that you can have. You can see so many companies that have like budgets 100 times, 1,000 times smaller than Google or Facebook, and they are still able to compete with them, sometimes even win, just because they are smarter and they know they're more flexible. Money doesn't give you the biggest advantage when you run a technology company, and I think this is the most important thing that gives us all chance to do something.
And depending on what kind of technology business, what kind of online business you're doing, some of them don't need money to start up.
Exactly.
Wow. Chinese, tell us about what you do in Nigeria, your business, what kind of clients do you service, what kind of services do you provide, Nigeria is a tough place. What kind of support do you need? And tell us about, offline we were talking about what the financial services industry needs. What help do they need? Because online business is about payment. So what are the values, what are the added values that you can provide to all the bankers and all the banks that are listening out there?
So starting from what I've been involved in right now. Actually, I have a way of thinking of businesses when I search for a new business opportunity. And I've been doing this since I remember, when I run online businesses. What I do is I'm trying to find a big sector that has big already leaders in that sector. I've been winning in that sector for the last couple of years, or the last couple of decades. And these players have become very big, and being big actually makes you be very slow as well. So we're finding ways of how technology changes the behaviors of the customer and how it will allow for a new, flexible, fast company run by smart people to do something about it. So in Nigeria, we've come up with the concept of online booking, that allows you to book a flight, and you don't have to wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks for the flight to arrive. You can book it in 1 hour, and you can have it delivered to your house. for hospitality sector. And it's not an innovative idea, because this is how these businesses run in United States or in Europe. So basically, what we've been doing is we connect customers that are traveling inside Africa, are traveling inside Nigeria, with hotels when they need them. Because there you have already more than 8,000 hotels in Nigeria, and Nigerian hospitality business is driven by domestic travel. And when people are traveling from Lagos to Abuja, or from Lagos to Calabar, or from Calabar to PH, you know, there's only so many hotels that you may know about. There's only so many hotels that your friend may know about. But there are so many hotels to choose from, and you can just go to trivago.com and type in your check-in date, type in your checkout date. You can, you know, tick if you're looking for a hotel with a swimming pool, if you're looking for a hotel with nightclub, if you're looking for a hotel close to your company, or if you're looking for a hotel, you know, outside the city when it's going to be cold. And we're going to show you all the results. And you're going to see pictures of every hotel, and you're going to see description of every hotel. And every hotel was verified personally by my staff.
Wow.
So once you click the book now button, it's going to take you like 15 seconds. You're just going to add your email address and phone number, and boom, the hotel is booked already for you. You know where you're going to. You're going to get from us the itinerary. You're going to know how to get there. We can arrange taxi drive from you. So what used to take you many hours or many minutes and a lot of stress, now we've come down to 15 seconds and very comfortable process of finding a hotel.
And
This is what we're doing.
You are able to, you know, to give them an authentic hotel.
This is very important to build the trust. Yeah.
Well, so, you know, what...
And the online payments you ask about.
Yes.
So obviously we are trying to promote the concept of online payment in Nigeria, just like what government does with the cashless policy and everything. Because we really believe that, first of all, it's much safer, instead of what everyone thinks. Online payments are not that dangerous as the PR says. On trivago.com we have incorporated, we have implemented the most up-to-date international security system, and we never ever had any fraud problem. When you book hotel online, when you pay for stuff online, it's gonna be cheaper than if you pay cash. Because obviously the cost of servicing cash, the cost of dealing with cash, kills the revenue of every company that you can think of. So you can get huge discounts. And then again, imagine yourself traveling with big amounts of cash when you go to a hotel, to a city you've never been before. It's kind of dangerous, don't you think? So there are many ways we want to promote online payments, and what we need banks for is to provide better and better ways of doing payments online. They have to provide systems that work. They have to provide cards and debit cards that also work online, and they have to make the whole process of paying online with a card shorter, more comfortable, and more seamless. You know, not so many OTPs, not so many passwords, not so many tokens. You have to think about thinking of ways that are still very safe, but not that
Tedious.
troublesome and tedious, right?
Yeah, so typically, you know, looking at the various banking payment platforms, you know, that we have now, how much time do you have to spend on online to execute a transaction?
I think it would be from 30 seconds up to 2 minutes, depending on how quick the system works. Sometimes the system doesn't work and you have to try again. And these are all the things that put you off when you want to pay for some stuff online.
Wow.
Once you try twice and it doesn't work, you don't want to do it again, obviously. But when we provide an online payment system which actually work and are safe, then you will never want to go back to cash payments.
Wow. So haven't you know, done this business across Europe, particularly in Poland, right, and done it successfully, and come to Nigeria and studied the Nigerian environment and gone into it and become very successful in it, you know, how are you able, Chinese, to help, you know, online payment portals like banks and all of that, you know, create more efficient payment systems?
We would have to dive into some technical details in order to, you know, create an ecosystem that allows customers to pay for everything seamlessly online. What I can tell you is that this is happening right now. What we have seen lately is that the focus on banks is really directed on online businesses right now. They know that this is one of the fastest growing sectors in Nigeria, in non-oil sectors, non-oil and gas. And if they want, you know, keep up with the changes that's going to happen here, someone else will. Look at what happened in Kenya. The banks didn't really get how to, you know, keep up with the mobile revolution, and then you suddenly have this totally new company. No one really paid attention in the beginning, called M-Pesa, and now 60% of payments are done mobile on that platform, and banks are asking questions, what happened?
They were sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we're talking about. Look, there are huge opportunities in technology. There are huge opportunities in ICT. There are huge opportunities online. I mean, how many people would ever have thought when Linda Ikeji or Bella Naija were starting their blogs that they will become so successful? Look at what they've made of it. Look at the businesses that they've generated around it. Look at how many lives they've touched positively. Look, online is the future. And what we're saying is, look, stop sitting down there and talking. Get doing something. Find a sector that you identify a problem and try and find a solution that you can deliver online using technology. Because look, technology is driving a lot of businesses today, and a lot of businesses are inefficient, are ineffective without technology. You know, Marek, you are the technology expert. You know, I am just a coach. You know, so if you are looking at my business now as a coach and a psychologist, you know, what value are you going to add to me? Because I want to be selfish.
First, we have to sign a contract. You have to pay me some money. But adding to what you just said, let me give you, to whoever is listening, a piece of advice that always worked for me. Like, just because we are younger than people around us, we use technology on a daily basis. We're using phones. We know how to deal with laptops, and we know all the software. We know what's going on. Because when you're interested, you kind of become an expert slowly. Once something is your passion, you're going to become an expert. Talk to people around you, talk to the members of your family, talk to your friends that are working in so-called old businesses, and ask them about the daily challenges they are dealing with. And you will not believe how many ideas will come to your mind, how to use technology in order to solve their problems. Because we are in the minority. I mean, people who are thinking about the technology right now and using technology on a daily basis and are spotting the opportunity. Technology is everywhere, but that doesn't mean everyone knows how to use it now, and it's called the opportunities.
Wow. Chinese. You've got millions of people out there that are listening. What are your closing statements and advice to them?
You just gave me a very hard question. That you put me so much responsibility on my back. The only thing that comes to my mind is that the time is now, right now, because Nigeria is getting so much attention from international players, big companies, and so many investors are coming into Nigeria and they're looking for opportunities. But they will never succeed if they don't have strong local partners that know the markets. So you guys that are listening, you have the very, very valuable thing that no money can buy, or maybe money can buy, but a lot of money and a lot of time. It means the understanding and the insight of the market. So just stop thinking, and even if your idea is not the perfect one, just try it out, and if it doesn't work, at least you've learned some lesson and you can move to the other one.
Wow, that is fantastic. I'm just going to let my very good friend, we've connected, we're wearing the same color shirt, the same color trousers, the same color shoes, and guess what? We didn't plan it. Tuning in to Be All You Can Be with the Catalyst.
Okay, Lanre, it's been fun as usual, and Marek, thank you very much for making our time to hang out with us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes.
It was a pleasure.